So a little intro about me. I'm Lindsay Taylor. I'm a pastor here. I've been here for approximately 9 years. That's a pretty good chunk of time. I have 3 kids. One of them is going to turn 4 tomorrow with Stephanie's birthday and Tamara's birthday. Yeah. It's my birthday coming up on Sunday. It's the big 4-0. Well, some people might say it's the big 4-0, but, it is to me. I came from Canada, and I loved it up there, but God definitely sent us here, and we're doing something good down here. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start off with, we actually just recently, kind of in the fall time, we went back to Canada, and it was a really good visit that we had because a lot of my kids, my 2 daughters, they haven't met any of the Poppy and their aunts and uncles and that because they haven't been up here. So it was really special that they could just go to Canada and then even just see where I came from and experience all that, and just to look back at all the memories that I had there. And that was only our 2nd time there, back from 9 years. So has it been the 2nd time? 3rd time? I don't know. It hasn't been, we haven't visited Canada very much. I see Nathan like, no, 2nd time, no. We were showing our kids around the place and everything, and we actually passed by my high school. Now, who's had good high school memories? Put up your hand. Yeah, a bit. People, nice. Okay, yeah. When I was in high school, it was okay. It wasn't the best, but whether you always have memories in high school, whether they're good or bad, whatever they are. But when I was in high school, they have like these like groups or cliques in high school. They have like the jocks, and then they have like the popular crowd, and then, well, I was part of the stage crew crowd, if you can imagine that. It was great. We had our own little room, and we had Nintendo, and I never skipped class at all. It was great. But I always wanted to be a part of something else. I always felt like I wasn't really part of the group and that. And so I felt like I always needed to change who I was to be a part of a different group. If you always want to be be in the popular crowd. So, what do I have to do to get into that group and that? And so really, when you do that, you're actually hiding the person who God's like really created you to be. So, which makes you actually feel more alone when you're trying to like be part of that crowd. You actually feel alone because you're actually hiding all that stuff, all that good stuff that God's put in you. So when I went back and I saw my high school, all those like memories just kept flooding back to me. But then I realized, you know what? That wasn't just high school that happened. I actually did this throughout my entire life. I did this when I worked, like when I got a job. I did this when I first went to church, like my first church. I wanted to be part of like the pastors and all that. So I was like, I got to do this to be them and all that. So, but really, I just kept going in this big cycle of being alone and not being who I was and trying to hide that. So I was like under this blanket the entire time of my life. So I found this verse. And Jesus is talking to his disciples and about leaving the earth and that. And I kind of thought to myself, what did the disciples actually feel when Jesus was saying, "Oh, I'm going to leave you now"? Like, are they would probably feel, "Oh my goodness, we've been following this guy, we've been loving this like him, and now he's going to leave us." Like, how alone must they have felt like during that time? But remember, there's joy in the end of it. So, John 16:32 to 33, "Behold, an hour is coming and has already come for you to be scattered, each to his own home, and to leave me alone. And yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me. These things I've spoken to you, so that in me you may have peace. In the world you have tribulations, but take courage. I have overcome the world." So, like, all the things that Jesus has gone through, he's like, hello, like, I wasn't alone in this, and you're not either. So, can you actually realize that even if I'm not here, like, the definition of alone is, what is it? Let me look at my paper. So, alone is having no one present. So, it's actually like a physical state. So, even though I'm not actually physically here, I'm actually here. Like, do you actually realize that? And do you actually realize that even like throughout the entire time, God has been here? He's not physically present, like right beside you. You can't see him, but really, you can't see him. And you aren't alone in this. So, thinking, can you actually relate to that? Can you actually, during those times, even when Jesus was young, imagine him like in the high school ages, when he didn't have high school, but when he was in that age, what is that, like 16, 17? Yeah, that's the age when you go to high school. That was a while ago for me, so I don't remember. But imagine like that. Like, he was going across the land, spreading all of how much he loved God, and how much, like, with all these people. And yet he was saying, no, you're not alone in this. You're not actually alone. But did people actually believe him in this? Did people actually like know who God actually truly was in this? So, just telling people in your life who God is, you're not actually alone through anything that you do, whether it's big, whether it's small, whether it's up here, you're not actually alone. But if you actually do think you are alone, you're actually pushing him farther and farther away. You're actually wanting to not have that relationship with him. Because if you don't realize how much he is in your life and what he can do in your life and how much he loves you, then you're just saying, I'm going to keep you at arm's length and I don't want you. And so we have to choose him. We have to realize who he actually is every single day, focus on him and his truth, and just remove that alone spirit of you thinking that you can do it all by yourself, or I'm going to have to change to be who God, I'm going to have to change myself from who God created me to be just to fit in and all that. Now, God's done amazing things in my life, and he's always wanting me to dig deeper into a relationship with him and pouring out my love for him and that. But you have to realize, as much as you desire that relationship with him, you have to choose him first. You have to focus on him. I remember, or Nathan posted this thing this morning about Jordy, and I was listening to it because I wasn't able to go to class, and all he said was about focusing on him. Focus your life on Jesus. And if you focus your life all on him, you'll realize that you've never, ever been alone. Like your entire life. And you don't have to walk out the rest of your life alone. You just have to focus on who he is, the greatness that he is, the amazing God that he is, the one, the only, and you'll never be alone. So whether you decide to go to the grocery store or fight battles of cancer or anything like that, you have to realize that you're not alone. Speak out that alone spirit, because that's not a part of you. It's just what kind of the world wants to speak into you, and Satan wants to speak into you, saying, you can do this alone. You don't need anyone. Like, you can fight this battle alone. But really, you need him. You've always needed him. And even when you're a little kid, you always need him. When you're a little kid, you may not realize that. I didn't realize that. And I actually didn't realize that till my 20s, how much I needed him. When I came to Orville, I finally noticed that cycle that I was always in, how I thought I was alone and how I thought I could do it all by myself, and how I was hiding behind this, like, let's call it a tent. I was hiding underneath this tent of, oh yeah, I'm this person, so I'll be this person forever. But I know who God's really created me to be and who I am, but we'll just keep that inside. We'll keep that underneath the tent. And that not only kept me away from him, but it kept me away from other people. And if you want to choose that lifestyle of being alone, that's fine, but you're not going to have him in it. And that's the question. Do you want to have him in it? Do you want to choose him? Whatever you do you want to choose him? Do you want him to be the one that you focus on? Do you want him to be the one that you make decisions with? Do you want him? Are you going to choose him? Now, God is this amazing, amazing person who you can just feel him. You can just close your eyes and just feel his presence and know that you're not alone. Like, that's the greatest thing in the world. And I think we all have to think about, are we choosing him or choosing to be alone every day? Are you, whatever your decisions are throughout the day, so think about what you did today. Think of something. Were you choosing to walk it out alone? Or were you choosing him in it? Now that might smack you in the butt, but it's something you got to think about every single day. Are you choosing to do it alone, or are you going to choose to walk it out with him? And it's not something easy. It isn't. You have to practice this. You have to constantly saying, no, I'm going to choose you. I'm going to focus on you. All these decisions and all these circumstances in my life, I'm going to look to you. I'm not going to think that I need to do this and no one else can help me and no one else can love me through it. Because I want to choose you. Now, God gives us people in our lives to help us do that. And we have to remember that. But we have to remember that he is the main one. He's the main focus. He's the one that we should always choose. So I want us to close our eyes. And just think about what you did today. Did you choose him? Did you choose to do or make decisions by yourself? Because out of pride? But choosing him is recognizing who he actually is. He is the one who got up on that cross and died for us. He is the one who loves us more than you could ever imagine. So do you want to do this alone or not? tonight's the night you say, I'm tired of trying to do this alone. I'm tired of thinking that I can do it alone. Because really, all I need is you. All I've ever needed is you. And forever and ever and ever, that's all I'll need. I'll always need you.
I think there's a lot of pain in that word. Even every time Lindsay says the word alone, there's a lot of fear in that word. There's a lot of pain in that word. And sometimes even just hearing it, it's like a mountain we don't know how to get over. There's been a lot of loss in this room. There's been a lot of struggle in this room. And just hearing that word, it brings a quiver down our spines a little bit. But the reality of what she's saying is so powerful, is so true. He did that. He got up on that cross for us. And it brings us to a point of a decision. It brings us to a point of a choice. I choose you, Jesus. You said that you could take this loneliness from me. You said that you could take this hopelessness from me. I choose to trust you. I choose you. And so if you're one of the ones that, just even hearing the word alone, it's caused you great discomfort, I'd encourage you just to stand. Because there's power in what she's saying tonight. There's a gift for you to receive tonight. If you know that you need that gift, if you know that you need to feel him tonight, that you need to choose him tonight, that you're tired of doing this thing alone, you're tired of struggling through life not knowing if he's with you, he's here to meet you. Choose him. And I encourage you to come forward. I encourage you to get some prayer. Encounter him. Allow him to love you like he wants to love you. Don't leave this room without encountering him. Don't leave this room without choosing to be with him. Amen.
Thank you so much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. And please make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos or our live stream. You can also support the Father's House financially by clicking the Give button. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.